Once upon a time, nestled deep within the forest mountain hill, a place shrouded in mist and mystery, lived a brave woman named Kaela and her loyal dog, Bramble. Kaela was a fierce protector of her village, which lay at the base of the mountain. She was known for her courage, resourcefulness, and unyielding spirit. The forest was no ordinary place. It was said to be enchanted, filled with ancient secrets and guarded by creatures both wondrous and fearsome. The villagers dared not venture too far, for whispers spoke of a shadowy presence that had begun to grow in power. Crops withered, streams dried, and the once harmonious songs of the forest had turned into eerie silences. Kaela, determined to uncover the source of this darkness, prepared for a journey into the heart of the forest mountain hill. Bramble, her faithful companion, stood by her side, his sharp senses and unwavering loyalty giving her strength. The duo ventured into the forest, where towering trees seemed to reach for the heavens, their gnarled roots forming labyrinthine pathways. As they traveled, Kaela used her knowledge of the land to navigate treacherous terrain, while Bramble sniffed out hidden dangers. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and shadows stretched long, they encountered a massive ancient oak tree with a hollow at its base. Within the hollow glowed a faint, otherworldly light. Kaela approached cautiously, and a soft voice called out, "Who dares disturb the slumber of the forest?" Kaela stepped forward, unflinching. "I am Kaela, protector of the village below. I seek to end the darkness that plagues these woods." From the hollow emerged an ethereal figure, the forest guardian, a being as old as the mountain itself. "The darkness you seek to banish is no ordinary force," the guardian said. "It is the Shadow Wraith, a creature born of fear and despair. To defeat it, you must journey to the peak of the mountain and retrieve the Crystal of Dawn, hidden within the Cavern of Echoes." Kaela nodded, determination etched on her face. The guardian bestowed upon her a pendant that glowed with protective light, and she and Bramble continued their journey. Along the way, they faced many trials, crossing raging rivers, outwitting cunning forest spirits, and standing their ground against a pack of wild wolves. Each challenge strengthened their bond and resolve. When they finally reached the Cavern of Echoes, Kaela discovered the Crystal of Dawn atop a stone pedestal. The cavern shimmered with an eerie beauty, but as she grasped the crystal, the Shadow Wraith appeared, a swirling mass of darkness with glowing red eyes. The battle was fierce. Kaela's pendant shielded her from the Wraith's attacks, while Bramble darted around, distracting the creature. With all her strength, Kaela raised the Crystal of Dawn, its radiant light piercing the darkness. The Wraith let out a deafening roar before disintegrating into nothingness. The forest was restored to its former glory. Streams flowed once more, trees stood tall and vibrant, and the harmonious songs of the forest returned. Kaela and Bramble descended the mountain as heroes, their bravery immortalized in the tales of the villagers. From that day on, Kaela became known as the guardian of Forest Mountain Hill, and Bramble was hailed as the bravest dog in the land. Together, they ensured the forest and village thrived in harmony for generations to come. The legend of Kaela and Bramble did not end with the defeat of the Shadow Wraith, for the Forest Mountain Hill held many more secrets. The villagers, emboldened by her victory, began to look upon the forest not with fear, but with curiosity and reverence. Kaela became their guide, teaching them the ways of the land, the language of the wind through the trees, the rhythm of the rivers, and the wisdom hidden in the songs of the birds. Yet Kaela knew that the balance of the forest was delicate, and her work was far from over. Deep in her heart, she felt the call of the mountain once more. The crystal of dawn, now resting safely in the village shrine, whispered faintly to her in dreams, warning of future challenges. The forest, though healed, was alive and ever-changing, and new threats could arise. One cold autumn evening, as the moon bathed the forest in silver light, Kaela stood at the edge of the village, gazing up at the mountain. Bramble sat by her side, his golden-brown eyes reflecting the same quiet determination as his mistress. Together, they had faced the darkness before, and together they would face whatever lay ahead. The villagers began to speak of Kaela not just as a guardian, but as a bridge between their world and the forests. They came to her for guidance, and she shared her wisdom generously, always reminding them of the deep connection between their lives and the natural world around them. She encouraged them to plant trees, care for the streams, and honor the creatures that shared their home. As the years pass, the forest mountain hill, uncovering its hidden wonders and protecting its fragile harmony. They discovered a meadow that bloomed with flowers, glowing softly at night, a grove where ancient stones whispered stories of the past, and a hidden spring that healed the wounded. Kaela mapped these places in her heart, knowing their importance to the life of the forest. One day, the guardian of the forest appeared to Kaela again, this time not in distress, but with gratitude. "Your courage has rekindled the bond between the village and the mountain," the guardian said. "You are not merely a protector, you are a part of the forest itself. The spirit of the mountain flows through you, Kaela, and it will guide you always." Kaela bowed her head in respect, feeling a deep sense of purpose and belonging. She knew that her story, like the forest, would continue to grow and change. The bond between her, Bramble, the village, and the mountain was a living thing, nurtured by courage, kindness, and love. And so, the tale of Kaela and Bramble became a song, sung by the villagers, a story told by parents to children, and a legend that inspired all who heard it. For in the heart of the forest mountain hill, where bravery and loyalty walked hand in hand, the spirit of the wild and the human soul became one, and the world was a little brighter for it. The legend of Kaela and Bramble spread far beyond the village, at the base of the forest mountain hill. Travelers who heard the story ventured into the region, seeking glimpses of the enchanted forest and the fearless guardian who had tamed its shadows. They came with offerings of respect, seeds to plant in the soil, songs to sing to the trees, and prayers to the unseen spirits that kept the land alive. Kaela welcomed these visitors with kindness, teaching them the ways of harmony and respect for nature. She showed them how to listen to the rustling leaves, which carried the whispers of the wind, and how to trace the stars, reflected in the clear mountain streams. She reminded them that the strength of the forest lay not in its mysteries, but in its interconnectedness, the unseen threads that bound every living thing. As the seasons turned, the forest flourished. The trees stood taller, their branches laden with blossoms and fruit. Wildlife returned in abundance, and the air was filled with the hum of life. The village, once wary of the forest's power, now thrived alongside it. Festivals were held to celebrate the bond between the people and the land. Children ran freely among the trees, laughing as they chased the light of fireflies. Elders shared stories of Kaela's courage, ensuring that her tale would never be forgotten. Kaela herself grew wiser with each passing year. She and Bramble explored farther than ever before, discovering the mountain's highest peaks where the clouds gathered like soft blankets, and its deepest valleys where hidden waterfalls sang their eternal songs. Together, they uncovered ancient carvings etched into stone, messages from those who had once walked the same paths. Kaela felt a profound connection to those long-gone souls, their hopes and dreams resonating through time, but Kaela knew that with every dawn came the possibility of new challenges. One day, a fierce storm swept through the forest, uprooting trees and flooding rivers. The villagers feared the forest might never recover, but Kaela and Bramble worked tirelessly, leading efforts to clear debris and replant the damaged land. Their unwavering determination inspired the villagers, who came together to heal the forest as it had healed them. Through it all, Kaela remained steadfast, her spirit unyielding, her bond with Bramble unbreakable. Though her hair turned silver and the years left their marks, she continued to walk the forest paths with the same strength and grace as the day she first ventured into its depths. Bramble, too, grew older, his muzzle flecked with white, but his loyalty never wavered. Side by side, they carried the legacy of a bond that transcended fear, a love that bridged the wild and the human heart. And when the time came for Kaela to rest, she entrusted the forest mountain hill to those she had taught and inspired. The village swore to protect the land and honor her memory. They carved her likeness into a great tree at the forest's edge, where it stood as a sentinel, watching over the land she had loved so fiercely. As for Bramble, the villagers say his spirit still roams the forest, a golden light among the shadows, guiding those who seek the wisdom of the forest mountain hill. And so, the story of Kaela and her brave dog lives on, a tale of courage, connection, and the unyielding power of love for the world and all its wond. Years turned to decades, and the story of Kaela and Bramble became more than just a tale. It grew into a guiding philosophy for the people of the forest mountain hill and beyond. The wisdom Kaela imparted became the foundation of a new way of life, one rooted in harmony with the land and respect for all living things. The village prospered, its homes blending seamlessly with the natural beauty around them. Roofs were adorned with moss and flowering vines, and paths were lined with trees that provided shade and fruit. The people established a tradition called the Festival of Light, held every year on the anniversary of Kaela's victory over the Shadow Wraith. During the festival, villagers lit lanterns and placed them along the forest paths, symbolizing the light that Kaela and Bramble had brought to their lives. Children grew up hearing her story, and they dreamed of being as brave and kind as Kaela. Many took up the role of forest guardians in their own way, planting trees, caring for injured animals, or learning the songs of the forest to keep its spirit alive. A special group called the Keepers of the Dawn was formed, dedicated to preserving the balance of the forest and teaching future generations the lessons Kaela had left behind. The forest, too, seemed to remember Kaela and Bramble. It thrived like never before, its colors more vibrant, its creatures more abundant. Some said the trees whispered her name in the wind, and on quiet nights they swore they could hear the soft padding of Bramble's paws as he watched over the land. Travelers who ventured into the forest often reported feeling a warm presence, as though the spirit of Kaela herself guided them on their way. As time passed, the tale of Kaela and Bramble spread far and wide. Bards sang songs of their adventures, poets wrote verses about their bond, and scholars studied the wisdom she had shared. The village became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking inspiration and solace. People from distant lands came to walk the forest paths, touch the ancient trees, and feel the magic that still lingered in the air. Even as the world beyond the forest mountain hill changed, the legacy of Kaela and Bramble endured. It was said that whenever the forest faced a new challenge, a harsh winter, an encroaching fire, or a threat from the outside world. The villagers would gather at the base of the great tree carved with Kaela's likeness. There, they would light candles, sing the old songs, and call upon the spirit of their guardian. And each time, the forest would answer, finding its strength once more. In the end, Kaela and Bramble's story became more than a legend. It became a reminder of what it meant to live with courage, compassion, and a deep connection to the world around you. The forest mountain hill, with its towering trees and endless secrets, remained a sanctuary, not just for the villagers, but for all who sought the wisdom of the brave woman and her loyal dog. And so, the story grew like the forest itself, a living, breathing testament to the power of love, unity, and the enduring light that shines even in the darkest of times.